Do I need an LLC for a side business? So this question is actually brought through Ask Loral by John. And the question is, and I'm going to read it because it's so stunningly interesting, and I'm being graciously nice in this minute. Can my W-2 income put towards my LLC income? Like, this is below 101, John. I'm sorry to say, and I don't mean to be so insulting, but oh my God, you have W-2 income that's just already been scathed by taxes, right? Think about it. There's two tax systems. You make money in a job, they tax the pieces out of it, and you get the crumbs left over. That's how most of you live. I call it employee life. Or you make money in your company, and it's new money. That money now allows you to do 81,000 pages of deductions. Means you got to write off your phone, you get to write off your technical equipment, you get to write off your car, you get to write off home office. I mean, it goes on and on, 81,000 pages. And then you pay tax. So you want to take taxable income and put it in the LLC. It's not even a thing. It is completely illegal. So go ahead and try it if you want. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. And here's why. So let's get to the lesson here. Sorry to have to how many of you do not take business and financial literacy seriously and really learning in to understand it. This isn't a magic wand, although I have one. I have this, beautiful little magic wand right here, but it doesn't work. Like, this book has got to go into your brain called knowledge. And a lot of you are not spending the time that it takes. You're binging on Netflix and Hulu and Paramount instead of binging here on my YouTube channel. So please binge. Today in my conversation with you, I want to talk about 3 very specific things regarding this. First of all, I just explained the tax system. Then I want to talk more about that incorporating. So LLC is the right answer, John. You want to get one, but it has to be a source of new income. You have to have a legal intent to make money. The next thing I want to talk about is how then that LLC gives you the deductions and all the tax advantages, and how you want to minimize your W-2 income. It's completely different in already tax, so that's done. You don't put that in an LLC, you don't put that anywhere else, you just use it to live on, which is why I want your W-2 income so low. And I want your LLC and your new income, your hustle income, to be as high as you can get it, because it has deductions associated to that kind of money. Money has a quality to it. So we'll be talking about this. And then the last thing is the largest mistake of all, which is staying a sole proprietor, and why that is absolutely just ridiculous. I mean, sole proprietor to me means suffering, doing everything by yourself. You're not serious. You're sort of an emotional entrepreneur trying to figure things out. It doesn't work at all. So overall, incorporating, I call living corporate life. In America, there's 4 kinds of companies, which is the largest choice base in the world. Everyone else in the world usually has 1, 2, maybe 3 corporate structures, and they're called something different, like proprietary limited, limited proprietary, just a corporation. Some countries, they call them numbered companies. In America, they're C Corps, S Corps, LLCs, or limited partnerships, then are coordinated in contractual arrangements held into a trust so you avoid probate. That is the way to structure them. Some of you, because you're asking interesting questions and not leaning in to come talk to me live, I just got a client who went this way and took an S Corp and had the S Corp own an LLC, S Corp own the LLC, and then these two owned this one. It was a complete vertical setup, completely wrong too. You're not an expert in corporate structure just because you can go to the Secretary of State and get an EIN and LLC pretty darn quick. That doesn't mean you don't have the brains and the expertise around what should you be getting on the kind of money you get. So the right kind of entity is critical. You could go to LegalZoom and by the time and set it up for like 99, I call it the 99-cent store. It's for $99 or something. But by the time you get all the documents required, the operating agreements, if it's a corporation, you're going to need shareholder agreements. You're going to need articles of incorporation. You're going to need a pretty deep operating agreement. If you truly are in a partnership with another person, how you're going to get in and out. I call it design your divorce while you're in love, how to do a proper operating agreement. You need corporate certificates. You need a seal, you need the resolutions, you need all of it. So by the time you buy all the things that you don't even know you need, you're at about $2,000. So that's around what we charge for ours, because we're going to have a one-on-one conversation with you, very exclusive on what you're doing and how to do it, very different, high touch for just the same money. If you do all the buttons on LegalZoom, you push them wrong, you now have to overpay because you can't get it back. And if you call them and say, I need to talk to somebody, it's usually like a legal hotline. And you're going to get Susie one day, Jane one day, Jim one day, and you never have any consistent help. So you have no consistent strategy. So if you're an expert, whatever you're an expert in, stay an expert, strengthen your strengths, hire your weaknesses. This is an area you don't know about. You don't know how to do it. And just the thought of crossing W-2 income into an LLC is not only commingling, it's absolutely stupid. I mean, it's just not even a thing you would do. So you want an entity. I mean, I'm aggressive, as I put in my kids' book. At 18 years old, my kids got LLCs for the birthday. Now, are they truly activating them to the degree I teach? They will be as they become adults. My son's taking more and more of a lead on his. My daughter, not so much. She kind of dabbles in it right now because she is in school and she's an athlete and she's got in flight school and got other things as a priority to that. Getting an entity absolutely activates the tax code. Without it, you don't get the right to deduct hardly anything. So if you stay a sole proprietor, for example, and just do a Schedule C, there's 13 to 30 deductions. If you go to TurboTax and try to do it yourself, because now you're a tax expert, you're not an expert in any of these categories. These people go to school, believe me, my son went to school to become a CPA, got a master's in accounting, actually this week taking his 4th CPA exam. This is like becoming a surgeon or an engineer. You are not that, so why go to TurboTax and try to do it yourself? And again, you only get to activate about 80 tax deductions. You don't get 81,000. You need an expert who knows the tax code, the entire code, how corporate structures work together, how to do officer and director benefits, how and when do you put a C Corp into place. These are all critical things that we have experts to do this for you. You don't do this on your own. I mean, you can try. And then let's talk about one other little tax group. There's a lot of tax groups, especially now, because we're filming this in February of 2025. A lot of you are trying to get your refund. My answer to those of you trying to get your refund is, why did you overpay in the first place? Why did you overpay your taxes and you let the government not pay you interest, but now they're going to give you your money back? You're just going to let them park it over there? It'd be better if you put it in a CD than overpay in taxes. So you've got to take this serious. If you compound and understand the compounding power of money, the amount of money that so many of you overpay in taxes because you don't take it seriously, you think it's just a box you're going to check, like re-upping your passport. It's just a document. I'm going to send it in, send it out, it's done. No, taxes is a strategy of your life. Every quarter, you should be paying attention to it as you become higher net worth. Monthly, I pay a monthly retainer to my tax teams, and I am talking to them every week, if not 3 to 4 times a week. That's how serious it is, because it's either for $10,000 of overpaid taxes in 20 years, you're going to pay the IRS $1.1 million, or you're going to put it into your own estate and become a millionaire. It is not difficult to be a millionaire. It's different than all of you are doing, and you've got to get some help. You get help in other areas. I mean, how many of you have been on a weight loss program? You paid Weight Watchers or Nutrisystems or some whatever those, now how many of you all have taken the Ozempic or the Row or the whatever that's all called? You spend a lot of money in odd areas of your life when the entire foundation of your financial life is right in front of you, and you spend no money and you want to do it cheap. So how are you going to be a millionaire and do cheap behaviors like that? So you need to get with it, get the experts. If you have any questions, I want you to go to askloral.com, ask questions, make requests. I promise I won't keep making fun, but this was just a fun one to have fun with because it was just such an odd, twisted question. And the use of an entity is imperative. The next piece I want to describe, and I'm actually read the legal definition of an LLC. So LLC, the income for your LLC depends on the tax classification. So if it's single member, it's treated as a disregarded entity for tax purposes, means it's going to flow through to your income. You still get, they activate the tax code though on the deductions. So your income is reported to your personal tax return, usually on a Schedule C. But if you activate more of the deductions and actually do more contracts with the LLC, like if your LLC did business with another LLC, now you have a bigger right to do more deductions. The multiple member LLC, which is preferred by far, is treated as a partnership. It's reported on a Form 1065 distributed to the members on a Schedule K. Way better way to do it. So you have between 3 to 5 years to get the LLC into profit, into some income. A lot of people are scared to take deductions because their LLC didn't make any money last year. It's okay. You have 3 to 5 years with the legal intent to make money. So you could sell this water, rehydrate, you could sell CBD, you could sell glasses, you could sell these magic wands. You could sell whatever you want. It's not about the intensity or the breadth of what you sell, the product or service. It's you want to activate that tax code. So again, combining income. So let's talk about money. There's W-2 money. We've already talked about that. Payroll money that comes from a company because you have a job is taxed right away in every country in the world. You get what's left. By having a company anywhere in the world at 18 years and older, you have a company. You activate all the deductions, and then you pay tax. So let's put this together. If you have W-2 income, where do you put it? Well, you probably maximize your employee 401k. I would tell you to go out and check out our experts for some self-directed accounts for self-directed Roths if you can qualify. I would activate life insurance. I'd activate real estate. So all of a sudden now your W-2 income is creating some asset base. But the best asset you're ever going to build is your own company, your own LLC, your own S Corp, your own C Corp. You got to call into our office again. So in the notes below, there is our phone number. You can click on the link for a strategy session, talk to one of our teams one-on-one, and let's get you the right help. So the other qualities of money I just want to bring up is like there's capital gains taxes that you got to be thinking about. There's sales tax you need to be thinking about. There's a variety of qualities of money. Like IRA money is a different quality of money. It's either pre-tax like a Roth, where then it grows tax-free, tax deferred for the rest of your life, or it's a 401k that's attached to your S Corp, and that actually is a taxable vehicle, meaning like this year I can put up to $69,000 into it. I've in the other years put over $100,000 into it. So it's like a 401k for your own company, and you can have one of those. You can actually have both. So if you're a W-2 and have a 401k with them, you can have an LLC, S Corp, and again, our teams will tell you what you have, and that can have its own qualified plan as a tax benefit. So again, I'm doing this intentionally to say, my gosh, there's a lot of layers. There are. It starts with corporate structure, corporate compliance starts with a tax strategy, and then you add on IRAs, self-directed IRAs, you add on insurance. We use iFlip, so in the show notes below, I'll give you a gift of a great software to keep you in the market safer and takes you out of the market so you don't have huge losses. So this is like an onion that we're peeling back, and then we're rebuilding this beautiful financial house with you. That includes corporate credit, cleaning up your corporate structure if you have companies and you didn't do it right, cleaning up bookkeeping, helping you get a bookkeeping system. There's some structure to becoming wealthy. So if you want to just keep a simple little dimple life and have nothing, in the Bible it says, if you're not responsible for the small amount you have, why would you ever be awarded a large amount to be responsible for? So a lot of you, I need you to take it more seriously. When you're in an LLC, you protect your personal assets, meaning if you had rental property and something happened in the rental property, they only can come after that LLC and what's in that LLC. If you don't and you stay a sole proprietor, everything you own in the world is wide open to litigation. And welcome to the greatest country of litigation that can sue you for anything. As you've noticed over the years, it's gotten worse, and you are guilty until you're proven innocent. I don't care that everybody says it's the other way around, and there's a judicious system. Hopefully we'll get cleaned up in the next few years, but it is a disaster today. So just protect yourself is the point of all that, and activate the tax code. Now, before I continue on with some topics, I want you to subscribe to my channel. I want you here 5 days a week. It's a family-friendly channel. And even if some of the content is more advanced, your kids are getting it. They're getting this immersion between 0 and 13 is when the greatest part of their subconscious and their development, their decisions, their meanings of life, their values are all developed. So just having this constantly in their background, I mean, both of my kids were in vitro listening to me speak from the stage and do this. I mean, I have a big table mentoring program, and we're in our 25th anniversary. And like Logan was said, I was in table 0. My daughter was probably in about table 20 when she was learning all this in vitro, and then throughout her whole life she can almost repeat me as a mini me. It's hysterical. So make sure you subscribe, binge watch. There's another way to binge watch here. I mentioned it earlier. If you're going to binge, I want 25 hours here on my channel, and in exchange, as a gift for doing that, we're going to give you up to $750 of credit, so you have to monitor and know it. So in the link below gives you exact description of how to binge watch us. You have to do it our way so we can see the trackability of it. And then when you talk to one of our team members, just say, hey, I did the binge watch. We'll verify it, and you get $750 of extra credit towards the tuition of whatever you're going to do for us to help you. So it's a great way to get some education and get a big reward for doing it. So let's talk about the big, I would say, elephant in the room, but a lot of you just don't understand how absolutely useless staying a sole proprietor is. So let's start with the biggest damage you've done to yourself. Like, I don't know how many hair salon, nail salon, just independent workers that are paid cash or paid, through the cards, but they have their own independent business. They say it's sole proprietors. So first of all, I mean, anytime you put your hands on another body, you should have an LLC around you protecting you, or an S Corp or a C Corp, depending on what you have. It's not just a question of that business. It's a question of everything else in your life. If you have a partner, how do they make money? Are they W-2? Like, there's a consideration of your whole household and the money you make, as well as a consideration of what is the life that you want. What's the investments you want? Is there a legacy that you want to design? So what happens when you're a sole proprietor is that you, even if you have a personal bank account and a business bank account, you open that business account under your Social Security number. So basically to the financial services world, you look like the same because you are. So you have one source of credit, it's under your Social Security number. So if you're in business for 10, 15, 20 years and you had money coming and going, you paid bills, you bought supplies, and you only used the Schedule C on that little sole proprietor, to the financial institutes, you look really, really small. Like you don't look like you're an active wealth builder, business owner. You look like you're a hobbyist. That's quite frankly how everyone views you in the financial world. So then when you go get, say, a line of credit or you want to get a loan, you don't look very big financially because you're not using the system right. When you get a company, another company, which is very normal in the first year of working with us because you need to spread out your income, even if you have a W-2. So if you have a W-2 and say over the course of a year or two, you end up with 3 companies. Now they have EINs and tax identification numbers. So now you have 4 sources of credit. Not just your Social Security number. Each of these companies have corporate credit. Now your access to more money, more credit, more lines of credit is much more valuable to you. So a lot of you don't realize the reason why banks or credit card companies don't raise your limit or give you money is, quite frankly, you don't deserve it because you're not playing the way the system is designed. The system's not broke. It was built this way, but you have to actively put money in it and spend out of it. So if you're one of those people who said, well, I only do business in cash, well, I don't even know how you survive because there's so many cashless. I mean, you go to a concert, a pro football game, any sort of a football, I mean, they're cashless. Like you have to bring cards. There's no such thing as cash in many, many places now. So a lot of you just need to, I'm gonna say, grow up financially, get incorporated, get out of sole proprietor. I wouldn't stay in sole proprietor land for 1 minute. I wouldn't even get out of bed during a day to do anything. It didn't never happen. When I start a company, I start the corporate structure, whatever my tax team tells me is my best given everything else I have. And then I start a database of marketing to that list of people. So whether it's selling CBD, whether it's selling wealth building, my Millionaire Maker stuff, whether it's selling my mom's meds cannabis project, whatever it is, I have entities and databases protecting everything, all held in trust. Let us help you get structured. Many of you, you've got to have your financial foundation reset down to your credit cards, how you bank. I mean, every little move you make. And here's just a tip for you before we close. So let's just say this situation where you have you and 3 companies. So then what you would be doing is putting all your debit cards away. You'll be going to walk around with 4 credit cards with very specific instructions that I and bookkeepers and the tax team will help you, saying, what does this credit card do? What does this credit card do? What does this credit card do? And they have purposes. They buy different things, and they buy them according to what's in that entity. And overall, you want more LLC income, less W-2 income. And for those of you that are high income earners, then we're going to have to put up at least 3 companies to take that tax strategy and get you into single-digit taxes. So if this is interesting to you, again, go to AskLoral.com, ask a question, make a request. We're here every day answering your questions, ask for a one-on-one appointment, and I can't wait to see you and help you grow your wealth.